Warning: this program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed and discussed. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrew Pierce. Welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. We're doing the show because let's face facts. I fucking love whiskey. My co-host, as always, Mr. Joseph Limbaugh.
I fucking love whiskey, etc. Thank you for watching the show. And our delightful guest, Rebecca Remy. Here she is. Rebecca Miller.
Hey, what's up?
We call you.
I go by Rebecca Remy, and I fucking love whiskey.
Kismet. It's just Kismet. We're all here on this together.
I was thrown off by a different last name in Zoom, I guess.
Well, I have a stage name and then a last name.
All right. Hopefully I didn't cross any barriers. I'm sorry. I should have checked before the show. Yeah. In the moment, I was startled. Now, anyway, thank you. So glad to have you.
Just let everybody know I'm in the witness protection program, okay? No. Now I'm going to be hunted down.
I don't think you should say that. Not this again. No, we've actually, you can't see this, but your face is a digital blur of just a bunch of pixels, and your voice just sounds like, I am Rebecca Remy.
That's how I wish I sounded.
Well, you said before the show you wish you could grow a beard as well, so yeah.
Yeah, just be fun for a day. Why not?
It would be fun for a day.
Hey, Alex. Hey, everybody. We're here to drink whiskey and discuss the tastes and flavors and educate our palates and to learn more about our guests and to hang out with you guys in the chat. So, chat away. We'd love to see you. Hi, Lucetinator. Hi, Akon. McCready. Liquor Connoisseur. Hi, everybody. Zombie Skincare. What? Zombie Skincare. I love that. And Brooke Lassie.
Even zombies.
Brooke Lassie.
Skincare.
Brooke Lassie was our guest last week. Hey, everybody. Let's start with our first whiskey because, we can keep talking and drink whiskey at the same time.
What?
It's possible. Hey, here's a Balblair 15-year-old. It's a Highland whiskey north of Edinburgh. No, north of there we go. Inverness, north of Inverness on the coast there. Ex-bourbon casks, then Oloroso casks to finish. It's 46%. But look at the color of that. They do not color their whiskey. And they hand stencil these things. People who fill them. It's a wonderful, handmade whiskey. It's beautiful.
I don't know what response this will get from Andrew, but this smell reminds me of like a really nice bourbon. Like it reminds me, that's what it kind of reminds me of like a, it has that sort of, a little bit of that sweetness to it. But like a really good one,
And it feels like it's very oak forward as well, which is a lot bourbon.
Makes me feel like I'm camping.
Yeah, it definitely has like an outdoorsy sort of smell to it.
At night when the fire's on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's fresh. It's fresh smell.
Right. There's been a rain recently and everything's green and flush.
Outdoor school. And did you go to outdoor school? It's basically just summer camp, really. But our counselor's name was Frog.
Counselor
That's
Frog.
A cool name.
Yeah.
Oh, I could live in the nose for a while.
Yeah, it's nice. It's simple but also complicated.
It also kind of feels like an old barn, like on a farm, like on a dewy morning kind of feel.
Yeah, I could definitely see like if I was building a house and you're building a barn, like it just being like
fresh wood, like.
Oh yeah, like maybe a bit of what is that? What is that when you put wood chips? But what is it when like ground up wood and you put it on the ground? What is it? Yes, sawdust. Thank you. Oh, boy.
Mulch. Yeah. Good
I do feel like since like pandemic has happened and quarantine, like I'm losing words. Like I'm like, well, I don't need these to like talk to anybody, so I'm just going to erase them.
I don't need to use nouns. I just point to things and.
You're just reminding me of Kemen. Why use many words when few words do trick?
Alex echoed that in the chat for you.
Mm-hmm. Because many words
Do
are
we
fun.
taste it now?
Yeah, sure.
I want to SeaWorld.
Let us taste.
Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 Chocolate covered rhubarb.
Oh, wow. That's not what I expected. I like it.
That is, yeah, the nose is not the same as the taste. Wow.
A lot of heat to it for like, where are we starting? 46%. That's a lot of heat for 46. That's a long finish on that too.
It's very like, it's like a venomous snake. I feel like it bites.
Yeah.
Like my lips are like, whoa, what happened in there?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. That's not like because usually when we start off with something that's a 45 or a 46, it's a little more, but this is almost like a 50. Like it feels like it has the punch of a 50.
Got the fire in there.
Chocolate covered rhubarb.
Yes. It's very specific. Yeah. Well, you know.
Did someone say that? Did I miss it?
I said that. Yeah. That's what that was my first tasting note.
Chocolate covered rhubarb. Yeah, I could see that. No, definitely.
It does have a bit of sweetness.
Yeah, I can also see chocolate raisins.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate covered raisins. You get that?
Yeah, this is not a peated whiskey. This is Balblair. They generally do not peat much. It's drying my mouth in the end.
Yeah, it is very dry. Like a dry wine. It's got that like, I'm salivating. Wow.
Yeah, it is very dry, but it reminds me of like like the afterness of like a fire, like ash, kind of like where it would still be hot, but it like has like, yeah, just it's got this like.
I kind of like the burning, maybe of like the smoke in your nose, like that, not like right in your nose, but like that sense of like that you just got, you know, you have that, yeah, that ashy kind of taste and in there.
Yeah, but like good. Maybe.
Yeah.
It definitely lingers a lot, the flavor.
Like I wonder, since it was in like ex-bourbon barrels, like I wonder if like that got a little bit more than it normally did, because it does have a very bourbony quality to it. It's so interesting that I don't think I've had a scotch that reminded me as much of a bourbon as this does. It reminds me of like a Woodbridge or something, like a fancy, you know, like a fancy higher end bourbon.
Right, something with a real big char when you before you put it in. Hey, Puck90, thanks for subscribing.
Woohoo! I'm going to pour a little bit more in because I think we're going to science. I'm just going to put a little bit.
I think it might open with the nose. The nose.
I think so too. I'm looking forward to sciencing it. I feel like it is a really good nose. All right. Are we?
It's so fascinating when the smell and the taste is just not the same, but like
it
goes together. It's very complementary.
Sometimes they aren't at all. Sometimes the taste and the smell are like entirely different, though. You know what I mean? Like, oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy Allison's birthday! Okay, here we go. Adding science and
science.
There it is. It's been scienced.
We shall see now. We shall see.
Happy birthday!
Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Did you try it with the science?
Makes me feel licorice. It feels like, I feel like I get like licoricey.
Oh, really?
It definitely has a, I haven't tasted it yet, but there's definitely like, I think a smell of licorice in there. Like a black licorice.
Exactly.
Wow, that just appeared in the nose like magic. I don't know if it's exactly licorice, but it's something really along that line, that kind
like something sweet, but like a little bit bitter.
It does, like anise or licorice, something like that in that area.
Maybe like a fresh rubber shoe, you know, just the sole of the shoe.
Oh yeah. It does for me, it's much more accessible, like in the taste. Like I feel like it takes that fire away, and I don't dislike that because I feel like it makes it tames it down a little bit, I think. Any advanced science appears to be magic to the uninitiated or something. I'm massacring that quote, but you know what I mean.
Any sufficiently advanced
science is indistinguishable from magic. I think that's it, right? Who was it? It was like, was it Robert Heinlein or who was the?
Robert Clark.
It was one sci-fi writer.
It was Clark or Asimov. I think it was Clark.
The chat can look it up.
Chat will magically let us know in a moment because they're so smart and they're not going to check the Google. They just know.
With future science, we should do a show and just instead of calling it science, call it magic and not tell anybody that we're going to change the terminology. It's time to magic this. Time for alchemy. Ooh, I do like calling it alchemy.
It turns down the heat.
Yeah.
I feel like it sits like a smooth.
I like it a bit better with water, although I liked it before water.
What happened? We're here. There we go. There. Technical freak out from our OBS operator or his computer. We're not sure.
I don't understand. The internet is reliable 100%. Why would anything ever go wrong with it? It's not like nothing is guaranteed.
Convenient blackouts on internet sometimes. You're like, why? What happened?
I think it's so interesting to me. There is no like, there's nothing that makes sure that the internet works for sure. Like it's just like, no, we'll assume it stuff gets there, but there's no promises in the internet. Arthur C. Clarke.
See, I called it Clark. Thank you, Grayson Thale. Thanks for joining us as well.
Oh, that's Ross.
Ah,
Shakespeare Ross, as some call him.
Cool. Shakespeare Ross. We are the Shakespeares of whiskey. We invent all sorts of terms about whiskey each week.
That's what people call us, or we say that they call us.
No, we were actually called that. I wrote it down. Look, it says right here.
Yeah, but who called us that?
I can't remember. I think it was might have been Ian or.
Okay.
Anyways, how are you doing today, Rebecca?
I'm doing good.
Feeling a little better with a little sip of whiskey?
I sure as heck am.
Oh.
It's gonna make me all giggly.
It does have that effect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What do you do after work? Oh, I just go to a whiskey tasting and giggle after I get buzzed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Hey, actually, Rebecca, you could plug your show for later tonight, right?
Oh, I do. I have a show tonight. I believe we're at 8:15. Sorry I tried at Impro TV.
And Sorry I Tried is the name of the show, just to clarify.
Yeah. That is the name of our show. Directed by Rebecca Lohman and Ted. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his last name right now. Ted Cannon, right?
I was gonna
gosh. Whiskey, right? I got it though, right?
Yeah.
Guys.
Nouns.
Whiskey.
We're not good with nouns anymore. We can't.
It's the words. You don't need to put them together so much, so you don't need to talk anymore, right?
Correct.
I mean, I think I use them in my head. I just don't they don't come out of the mouth, right? It's just in my head though. I'm very eloquent.
Oh yeah.
You should hear the inner dialogue. My inner dialogue is advanced. Like it's much higher. It's more elevated than it ever has been. But yeah, not so much coming out.
You don't have to translate from mouth to brain anymore. Like
right.
Yeah. All just appear.
We've scienced, we've magicked, we've alchemied. I think it is now time to move on to whiskey number 2. Now this is very exciting. This is Brooke Lassie has it as well, and she'll be tasting along in the chat. This is a bottle I picked up at the Blair Athol distillery, and it is Pittyvaich. It is a silent distillery. It was in Dufftown. It was built in 1974, that auspicious year, and it was shut down in 1993 and finally demolished in 2002. It was built as an identical duplicate of the Dufftown distillery because they couldn't make enough whiskey to fulfill the whiskey that went into the Bell's blended whiskey. That's where this was originally done for. And but they started to put out single bottles of their whiskey in 1991, only to be shut down in 93 because there was not enough demand in the 90s. The demand for whiskey went down. But I've only smelt this This is the first time I've opened the bottle to share with you folks. I'm very excited about this one.
It has, I find it's like the smell very inaccessible. Like it's very, very subtle.
Oh,
But there's like, it's down in there, but
it's a 25-year-old. It's been in this barrel a long time.
there's some interesting organic thing going in there that I can't, like, it's almost like a paint, or like a paint that's been sitting out, like an old, like in an art shop. It's been not even sitting out, but just a paint that's been on the shelf for a long time. You open it up and it's like, oh, this paint, you can't paint with this anymore because it's turned into like almost this, like a thick syrup,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I also
You're bringing back like memories of old paint, and it does.
I feel like there's a cup of tea with honey next to it, because I get some of that sweet honeyness. Brooke
Oh
Lassie
yeah, honey, definitely honey.
says petrichor, that smell when rain first hits pavement. I maybe a little bit.
Yes. Oh wow, it does smell like petrichor. Now I know the word petrichor.
But you'll forget it soon because
I won't forget it. I just won't be able to say it out loud.
Oh, right. In your head. Perfect. Yeah. Oh, this is delightful, and but also kind of constrained. Like, I think here water may help us again.
Yeah, I definitely like, I'm getting more than, like, it's taken me a while to get anything from it, but I'm glad I'm taking the time to do it.
Yeah. Oh.
And you thought, what about you, Rebecca? What's going on over there?
I almost feel like it has like a cherry, but like not a super sweet cherry, like a dark cherry.
Maybe not quite ripe yet.
Yeah, or maybe like preserved dark cherry, like jam or something, like in a cellar, like.
It actually kind of reminds me, we had an apricot tree in the backyard, and it reminds me of like completely unripe green apricots.
Yeah, unripe stone fruit. So liqueur connoisseur is asking how I came by this bottle. So when the distillery gets shut down, they still have a bunch of casks sitting around in warehouses. And someone will buy that and just kind of sit on it and own it. And eventually will release or sell it to other blenders to put together. In this case, I think the company that owned the distillery put it out as a special release of 25-year-old casks. I don't think this is a single cask. I think this is a vatting of many of them.
Well, going in now, I also get like fresh cut, like branches, or like just freshly cut, but very pungent, like flowers, or the stems of the inside of a plant.
Yeah,
of a green plant,
almost. Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh, interesting. Like this like there's been like, there's so many like levels that as I've been smelling this have like added on, because at first I was like, I can't smell anything, and now I'm like, oh, there's so much going on. Are we tasting it now?
I almost feel like it also smells like when it rains, like in a giant field, and then you can like smell all the like wild flowers or whatever's growing in the fields, like on top of the smell of rain, like that, like moist greenery.
Oh wow,
that is delightful. I fucking love whiskey. Wow.
Oh yeah, that is so interesting, and there's so much going on in that taste.
Wow.
Kind of reminds me of like freaking Kush, like green, like bud, like fresh marijuana bud. Like, it's one of the tastes I get of that, that smell of like just a bit of that when I taste it.
It's got a really nice, like smoky, like barbecue-y feel at the end too. Like,
oh my god.
Oh yeah. Boy.
So good. I'm afraid to put science in this because there's so many complicated things going on in the flavor that I feel like there's no way you could, it's like a house of cards. There's no way you could,
magic would just ruin it this time.
I think so. That's my guess. I haven't done it yet, but
so hard to know.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is really good. I do feel like I have a pretty good record for knowing whether science is going to work or not. I feel like I have a pretty good record.
Brooke Lassie is saying granola and honey roasted turnip on the palate.
Where do you get honey roasted turnips?
You know, yeah, I think you must have had to honey roast a turnip in some point in your past to know what that is. And
Or you go to a fancy hipster restaurant where they're like, we have a spinach reduction in a honey roasted turnip with a side of French fries, but they are our version of French fries. They are fingerling potatoes in truffle oil.
I definitely taste honey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it sounds like a good thing. I'm not. I would go to that restaurant, by the way. I'm not dissing that hipster restaurant.
It's the same place you get your chocolate covered rhubarb.
Chocolate covered rhubarb, yeah. Oh, you were going with the chocolate covered rhubarb, are you? Yes,
That's
that
for
comes
desserts,
with
of course. Yes.
comes with the black garlic sauce. Oh no, man. I'm not gonna science this, I don't think. I don't want to take the chance. The nose is so much more accessible now too that I've tasted it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at Rebecca. She's like,
Science.
I'm gonna science it.
What's the worst that
great.
can happen?
It doesn't taste as good. Doesn't taste as good, doesn't smell as good. That's the worst that can happen.
Thad, are you tasting along with us? I'd like to hear your opinion.
I feel like it makes it really sweet, the science.
Huh.
Too sweet.
Yeah, I'm tasting along with y'all. Y'all pretty much nailed the nose for me. The one thing that I had was in the taste was watermelon. Right off the bat, I got watermelon, which is really weird because I don't really like watermelon. I think it's quite flavorless, and watermelon candy is just not for me. But like, this is the first whiskey I've ever had where it's just kind of like, this is totally watermelon.
I definitely do get, like, now that you say that, like the taste of water, especially watermelon Jolly Ranchers, which is like, you know, when I was a kid. Yeah, Rebecca is not encouraging me to science this.
No.
At all. Look at this face.
What happened to it?
It just got like really, really sweet, like on the front. I don't know. You try it.
That's such a
I'm
strong
not a
reaction.
fan.
I kind of want to try it because she's making a
Because
face.
she had that reaction,
I
I'm
have
gonna
to try it.
I'm just not a fan at all. It changed the smell
I'm
completely.
gonna take one more taste.
I think it chased the nose away. Like I was getting more beforehand.
The nose is still there, but it's
diminished.
weird. It's far away.
It made it like mucky.
That's a really good description, mucky, because I kind of feel it on the roof of my mouth on the sides, which spatially that doesn't help you with taste at all. I understand that, but it's like there's some muck clinging to the roof of my mouth or something.
It's interesting because whereas like the first whiskey had a lot of heat, you could really like get the alcohol when you put water in it. That went away. This is the opposite. Like the water made this more aggressive. Like it turned it into a mouthful of bees.
I don't like the science on that one. It was indeed not magic, Joseph. You were right. You were right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something really interesting about the nose, but it's like I wouldn't recommend it for people, but I'm getting something that I like, some weirdness. It's having with the water, it's giving me some weird nostalgia hit on the nose. Like clay, or what is that clay that doesn't dry, like, you know, that plasticine kind of reminds me, it smells like plasticine.
And my mouth is even drier than with the Balblair right now in the finish.
Oh, weird. That's gotta be science or magic science.
So liquor connoisseur, I wouldn't say ruined, because I fucking love whiskey. I fucking love this whiskey. It's just
I'm glad I tried it.
It was better.
Yeah,
it was better before.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine this being in a Bell's, blended whiskey, and someone putting ice in there, and they're getting this off of it, and being like,
this is one you need to enjoy on its own. I don't know why I said it needs to be drank by the fire with, a fine blanket over your legs so you stay warm. I don't know. You're in a cabin in the middle of the woods, all right?
I like it when Rebecca
All right,
does
that's where you
voices. I like it when she does voices, and I hope she does more voices because I like it.
I mean, we're already 2 tasters in. Like,
tell stories. Yeah.
It's about when voices and stories start. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's part of the service we do is that we do the science. We have to do the science to make sure.
So you don't have to.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
And Monique, I hope you didn't do the science. What about whiskey number 3?
What about it?
Are we ready to move on?
I think we are. I might have a sip of water after that, though.
I think I am going to too, but I will introduce the whiskey while you do that. Here's a Dailuaine. Is that focusing? There we go. A Dailuaine SMWS 41.124, weighty but welcoming. Dailuaine was built by a farmer called, amazingly, in Scotland, William Mackenzie. I know, blew my mind too. And it was built in 1851. And it's in Charlestown-of-Aberlour. So it's just south of the town of Aberlour. But I mean, you know, it's in space, so you can't really throw a stone without hitting a distillery. They're just...
Look at all those blue dots up there.
Yeah.
You probably can't see them all, but there's a lot of them. Those are all
There's
distilleries.
a lot of blue dots up there. It's kind of in that mess. And this is a 14-year-old whiskey, and it was formerly in a cask. It was in a cask. What kind of cask? I can't read my eyes. First fill bourbon hogshead, and then ex-Oloroso to finish. So,
and it's Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, which, I mean,
SMWS, they pick good casks here.
I'm always excited for, as you know. And the last one's also SMWS. So, woo! Here we go.
Lassie, do you have this one as well? It feels like it might be in your wheelhouse. Oh.
This is a candy store whiskey to me.
This is a candy store.
this one more smells like chocolate covered something to me. It's like very sweet.
This is a fancy candy store though. This is like a high end, like maybe from the turn of the century, like, you know, before Willy Wonka. This is like a confectioner's. This isn't even a candy store. This is like a confectioner's.
Yes, you won't find your chocolate covered rhubarb here.
There's a famous mall in Portland called Lloyd Center, and when I was growing up, when we went there, they had like a caramel corn place, a place that had like this high end, really awesome caramel corn. This is kind of reminding me of that.
Oh, it is candy.
Yeah,
I definitely get caramel too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to taste it because I know that like it might taste like this, but it might not at all. It might be totally savory.
It also kind of gives me like a vibe of like butterscotch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Joseph, you can go home apparently.
What?
Matt says the candy store is still there in that mall.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Like it's funny because that mall has grown. I don't know. It's one of those things where you go back home. Oh, I'll have to go.
Oh my great googly moogly.
This nose is amazing. I don't want to taste it. I mean, I want to, but also I don't mind putting it off for an indefinite amount of time.
Hey, Thad, I just noticed that Joseph has no loves of whiskey. Is that accurate?
I said at the beginning that I fucking love whiskey.
Yeah, but you know, like it was kind of expected, so you know, just.
Oh, so you're not giving us those. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I applaud your higher level of judiciousness.
I got to raise the bar sometime, you know.
You do.
Yeah. We're too lax on this show, really.
Yeah, I mean, I fucking love whiskey.
Oh yeah, go in. Yeah,
let's taste it.
No, this is can sit in the nose a while here. Oh, what is that? It's almost like granulated brown sugar.
That's like a deep, rich molasses, like a really like just concentrated pure molasses, like maple syrup, like but really, really dark and rich.
Oh, yummy.
Like if it was like a maple type dessert that was kind of like a creme brulee and had the fire on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a maple bar, but a really fancy high-end maple bar from some patisserie in France.
Where
in
it's
Paris.
like this tiny and you have to pay like $50 for it. Artisanal.
Totally artisanal, very bespoke.
I almost feel the grains of the brown sugar, of that granulated brown sugar, rolling across my tongue drinking this.
Yeah, it is a surprising taste after the nose, but it also is completely in line with the nose. Like it's just, it's surprising because it's like, here's more of this and a slightly different direction.
Yeah, and some extra, but it's not like the last one where the nose was here and the first one, the nose was here and the taste was there.
All I smell is awesome maple bars now.
It's got some heat.
That's all I can smell.
I know, I was like, I feel like there's a fire in my mouth.
Well, this is, what is this? 57%. So
Oh,
weighty but
there it
welcoming is
is.
what they're calling it. Weighty but welcoming. Huh. What are their tasting notes? What is the SMWS? What are their tasting notes?
What do they say? They say, the nose excited, I'm going to read it with this accent, by the way. The nose excited us with brandy snaps, cinder toffee, chocolate-coated raisins, and orange muscat spilled on slate. Also, vague suggestions of fried sage and nori. The weighty palate had spun sugar, burnt fruitcake, singed orange peel, dark toffee, dried dates and figs, and hints of cumin. With water, the nose was even more welcoming. Treacle tart, moist gingerbread, caramelized almonds, and dark chocolate with sea salt and caramel. The palate was now smooth and easy and attractive. Cinnamon buns, sugar-coated fennel seeds, clove rock, licorice, and chocolate. After 13 years in ex-bourbon wood, we transferred this into a first fill Oloroso hogshead for a year.
Ew. How splendid.
Get this on all whiskey.
Now I'm excited. I don't think I've ever from the SMWS heard them, at least, or maybe you haven't read it, go like, and this is with water. Like I've never.
Occasionally they have with water in the notes, but it's not always there.
I've never heard it before. So that's kind of cool.
Thanks, Lisette.
I gotta write some notes.
It's yummy.
It really is. And there's Rebecca. She's sciencing.
I'm not afraid.
I like the
Not
tasting
scared.
notes. I definitely like. I even taste some of the cumin. I like those notes, but I feel like weighty but welcoming is an odd.
It's
it's an odd name for it. I feel like it wants something more akin to sugar or something.
I mean, the welcoming is the nose, but then the weight is all up in that sip.
Yeah.
My tongue is weighed down.
So, Rebecca, what are your thoughts on Steve Rogers, Mr. Captain America?
He's got a cute butt.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, thanks. That's all we needed to know. That's fine.
Yeah, he's got a cute butt.
If you want to go more detail on Steve Rogers, you can watch Lisette's show from yesterday, Friend Fiction.
It was very steamy, y'all.
Can't stop, won't stop. What is it? I can do this all day. What is it? What is the?
Are you dropping? You're drip dropping?
Man.
Come on.
All right, here we go. Here we go. This is supposed to make it even more welcoming. Here we go. Oh, it does. Oh my God. I feel like I'm being hugged by a flower. I feel like I'm making out with a flower. Is that
Get
weird?
a room.
Flavor is so
In
good.
my brain. This is always, I have a room and it's right here. It's inside of my skull.
In your elegant brain, you are making out with a daisy.
I think it might more be like a, no, it's a daisy. You're right. I was like, no, I think it's a fancier flower. Might also, well, maybe I'm making out with a daisy and an orchid. Oh man, it smells great. I think so far the water seems to be
Okay.
heading in the right direction. Haven't tasted it yet. What do you think, Rebecca?
I feel like it's good both ways. I don't have such a strong reaction about the science of this one.
Yeah, no, it is good both ways for sure. Like it was delightful
Mhm.
before.
Yeah. Like it definitely takes away some of the fire.
Have
My
you
mouth
did you-
easily is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a warm blanket and a cup of like hot cocoa that tastes like maple syrup.
I like that it still keeps the warmth too after the science. Like,
Yeah, it didn't calm it down like that.
Yeah.
like it
just
feels
the right
like
amount of warmth.
Yeah, it feels like when you're really, really cold and you have a cup of something hot, and that feeling that like just like warms you.
Just like going, you can feel it going down, and it like, you know, it's like, aha, yeah.
Yeah, that like, oh, right, I was really cold. Now I can relax now.
It's like the feeling of hot chocolate, if not the flavor of it.
Yeah, it's not quite that flavor, but yeah,
it's not that flavor.
The feeling of like I've just sat by a warm fire after being outside and cold, and it's just kind of tingly and just, you know, everything's just kind of warming up and loosening up. Blood's returning to those top layers of skin.
It would be a great whiskey to take on a winter trek, hiking up a large mountain, hoping you don't get lost, hoping that your foot doesn't freeze.
Has that happened to you? Did your foot freeze? Is that why
I don't have a foot? Don't you know that?
I can see your no foot there.
You can't
I'm only
her no
I'm only
foot
a
because
top
it's
half
gone.
now. Since the pandemic happened, this is it.
Yeah, after your feet froze off, you still kept hiking on those stumps of shins that froze off. Yep, that was not advised.
Hardcore. That's pretty hardcore. Oh man, I really like this stuff. That's good. You know what? I might almost even say I fucking love whiskey in general.
Yeah.
I fucking love whiskey. I feel great.
It's not a bad beverage.
I haven't drank straight whiskey in a while. It's nice.
I see the palate with fruitcake. Brooke Lassie says science turns the nose to maple sugar, cotton candy, and lemon leaves, and the palate is the best fruitcake ever. And she likes fruitcake. Don't judge her, but I'm judging. But I get that fruitcake with the water. I do see that.
Yeah.
I've never had fruitcake, so I don't know what it smells like.
Yeah, just don't. I'm gonna say, yeah, don't.
This is as close as you need to get, really.
Yeah. You can now say you've had fruitcake. Just remember this taste.
Do either of you have the Citizen app? Either of you use the Citizen app?
No, it scares me.
Okay.
Why?
I've noticed it's just like lately since the pandemic has happened, I noticed a lot more vehicles on fire. And I just wonder if anyone else has noticed that specific thing, like vehicle on fire, which you would think would be pretty rare. But I feel like I see that a lot. Maybe it's people who are driving out of their houses without like putting oil in their cars because they've been sitting in the garage. I don't know. It's just
or leaving
that
the
makes
brake
sense
on, or
I do feel like I see more car accidents in general, but that's the other thing. It's like car on fire, and I'm like, how often does this happen?
I concur. I think people's driving got worse.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ugh. People.
There was an accident on my way home from work too, and it was like a 3-car accident in the middle of 101, and they were all just like in the middle of the road, and it looked like somebody was merging and had slams, and then it just like.
Brooke Lassie,
use your blinkers and drive carefully.
Use your blinkers. Drive carefully.
Yeah, and don't go to the last minute on the 101 and then try to make that 134 merge. You're just a jerk. You're just a jerk doing that, and that slows everyone else behind down. And like all 5 lanes stop when the 101 could keep going down to 10. That's all I'm saying.
We still have a whiskey to drink. Isn't that exciting?
We still have a whiskey to drink.
I really like this one though. You know what? This you're gonna think this is crazy, but what? I want to say right now that this is my favorite whiskey. Yeah, you thought I was going to say the other thing.
No, I'm going to join you, and I'm going to say
This is my favorite whiskey.
Damn it. Whiskey's good.
So far, I think the first one would be my favorite. But I think I'm a
Really?
heavy leaner on bourbon.
It was very bourbony, yeah. If you
was
like
very
bourbons,
bourbony.
that was ever. It's always ever. What are you talking about?
Like when I go out to drink whiskey, my go-to is an old fashioned with bourbon. And I don't like when they make them really sweet. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
the favorite whiskey alert came up. It has to be his favorite whiskey ever.
Yeah, I mean that's implied in favorite, I think.
I think so. Numero cuatro.
cuatro?
Numero 4. How
How do you say whiskey in Spanish?
I don't know how to say whiskey in Spanish.
¿Cómo se dice whiskey en español?
Alexa? No.
McCready says that I get around in the whiskey department.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Hey,
You're a
love the
whiskey
whis-
slut.
I am. I really am. Love the whiskey you're
Whiskey
with.
shaming you.
That focus
Yeah,
thing. There we
shame.
go.
I'm proud.
Right. Charry Bang Bang. This is a Blair Athol SMWS 68.30, a re-charred hogshead, 7 years old, 58.5%.
I love the name Cherry Bang Bang. Like that's awesome.
Blair Athol is the place that is producing a lot of sherry influenced stuff for Johnny Walker, and most of it goes into that blend, and you just do not see it as a single cask, pretty much, unless you go to one of these independent bottlers like SMWS. This is where I learned that once those sherry barrels are depleted, they sell the sherry that they've used in them for windshield wiper fluid. This is so clear. I don't believe this is a sherry cask. I think this is probably a bourbon cask.
I'm just like really thrown off by the windshield wiper thing, the fluid. Like,
Well, I mean, it's alcohol, but you just kind
yeah.
of take it all out.
I
And
do wonder, do people like have like a nostalgic though? Do they? I guess they must probably put some sort of scent into it or something. But I also wonder, like, do people go like, oh, it smells like scotch. Clean my windows.
or
It's
sherry.
like
at
your
least, yeah.
best case scenario. You're in your car, you turn on the windshield wipers, and all you smell is whiskey.
Do I get sherry notes in this? Like, it's sweet,
Oh yeah.
I definitely get.
but it's so
Actually,
pale. Like that's
Oh boy. This is another candy store whiskey, but it's more of like, it's really more like syrups to me. This is like a drugstore with a bunch of like syrups behind the counter, like fancy syrups for flavoring the sodas.
Like cherry cordial syrup, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's
but like the real kind.
dark cherry cordial, light cherry cordial, cherry.
Like
cherry
an Italian, soda shop. You know what I mean? Like not like one in the States, but like, oh my.
Oh, there's
It
something
reminds me of those dark cherries that they used for old fashions. They starts with an L. I don't remember what they're called, but they're like,
maraschino
luscious.
cherries or
no, not maraschino cherries.
Luscious.
But like,
Lickable, lycra.
no, they're like darker and they have like a really thick syrup. They're so good, but they're like
Luxardo.
pricey for a buck. Yes, those ones.
Of course, yeah. Both of you, Matt and Q. Of course, you would know.
yeah, no, it does smell like that. Yeah,
The people who do research and remember foods.
it's basically high end maraschino cherries, right?
Yeah, like it's like an even
yeah.
fancier candy shop than before.
Yeah, it's fancier.
Like,
And the last one was
this
fancy,
is-
but this is fancier. This is like a fancy shop. This is like a candy shop for like the wealthiest of wealthy people.
Like a speakeasy candy shop.
I think you nailed it. What I'm smelling is a comic book behind the cherries. Like there's a shelf of comic books up there.
There is a printing smell in here.
That's what it was? As soon as you said,
Are we sipping this one in a comic book shop? I love that.
I think we are.
Yeah,
know,
or
this
a
is the
could
place-
also be a game shop. Could be like a bunch of RPGs or board games.
Right. But no, I feel this is a comic book shop, and Stan Lee used to come in and, you know, sit in that corner and talk to people and just hang out.
See, now it just reminds me of like the comic book shop at the old mall and like the old arcade where I just like hang out and like look at things I never buy.
Wasted your youth. Yeah. Oh. It's very fizzy on the finish.
There's the bang bang right there.
Yeah.
Oh, whew.
Whew.
Oh boy.
Well, that's a real firecracker, y'all.
It is. This is much better named than the last one, I think. Oh, wow.
It's the firecracker. It's the gunpowder. It's
I do taste gunpowder. Like I taste it.
That's so crazy. This is basically the same process of everything we taste. Why is it different? I don't get. I love whiskey. I fucking love whiskey.
Andrew, you're gold blooming.
What is gold blooming?
Gold blooming. That's when you start to behave. The thing about whiskey, it's so magical.
Can we build a giant statue of Andrew Pierce laying down in a park then?
Is there a Goldblum statue like that?
I don't get the connection, but I want to know.
You said Goldblum, right? Like
Goldbluming, like Jeff Goldbluming.
Yeah. There was at one point, there was a park where there was a giant bronze statue of him laying really sexy, like on his set. Like, hey guys, what's up?
Like he did in Jurassic Park when he's like sitting.
I think so. I think that's where they got it from. But yeah, there was a giant statue. As far as I know, unless it was like some internet conspiracy and I just didn't know. I was just stoked about the statue.
I mean, it's probably not possible, but I want Thad to find a picture of that and put it into the thing.
Jeff Goldblum getting sexy and
no, the statue. I want to see the statue.
Oh my god, no, it's the thing.
I'm not just imagining it. It's not just the whiskey talking.
No, it's a thing. It looks like it's in London.
In London, they had a big blow-up statue of him, according to Lisette.
Oh, it's a blow-up one? See, I didn't even know that.
Thanks, Lisette.
It's inflatable, so it can go anywhere, I guess.
You could order
it. It's the Jurassic Park. It was in honor.
Oh my god. This is my favorite whiskey. Like, and I say that with full awareness that the last one was my favorite. This is a cut above, and my favorite whiskey I've ever had.
Like you just said that 5 seconds ago. I don't know if I believe you, Joseph.
I mean, tastes change, Rebecca. Change over time.
You're not allowed to change. You must stay stagnant for the rest of your life. That'd be horrible.
I'm doing what I can to do that. There's something else in the palate though, right?
The distillers were so preoccupied with if they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Welcome to Whiskey Park.
That's why they closed it, actually. Wait, no, this is the different one. Where are we at? This isn't the closed one. That's the other one.
Burn.
I'm mentally on the last one.
What pushes us to number one? Well, what the thing is, like, there was so many amazing flavors going on in here and smells. When I smelled it, it was awesome. All of the richness, like there's a lot of just little points in there, and none of them were bad. And then when I tasted it, that was just like a continuation of that. And now, like when I went back to the nose, because I've smelled it once, I've tasted it once, and I went back to the nose. Like there's more, you know. That's it. It's just that there's more to discover in it, you know.
I scienced it, and I'm worried it's gonna take a wrong turn.
Oh no.
It might be
hard. I boldly went into science.
It might be hard for this to take a wrong turn. It's so
pretty
good,
strong.
You know? Yeah.
Oh.
What does its house look like? This is a palace. This isn't a house of candy. This is a palace of candy and baked goods. A palace. It's like it's a small world, but if it was made entirely of edible, delicious, the fanciest like French and Belgian desserts. That's what this house is.
There's a full garden in the back, and you can just pick all the chocolates off the bushes. Like,
Yeah, there's like a Willy Wonka, like like garden back
Nah.
there, but it's not like the Willy Wonka garden in the movie is like very industrial. This is like beautiful, and you're surprised that you can eat these vegetables.
Who can
and
take a
fruit.
sunrise, sprinkle it with dew? Da 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 for a miracle or two. I don't know the rest of the
Candyman
song.
can. It's the Candyman. The Candyman's the answer.
Candyman.
Candyman. Oh no!
Oh, what did you say? You were looking in the mirror. No, what?
I wasn't.
Joseph.
No, a phone isn't a mirror.
Digital mirror. It's a digital mirror.
No.
Do you have Mirror My Video turned on? Then it was a mirror.
No, but you know what I do have turned on? I fucking love whiskey.
I'll give you that one.
whiskey.
I prefer South Dakota's slogan. It's not for everyone.
I read that too quickly. I thought the slogan was, I'm pretty sure there's more to discover.
Edible arrangements? Yeah. Yeah, I haven't even had a second sip of this.
Mm.
And I'm delighted. I'm in love with this whiskey.
It's got a lot of bang.
It does. Two bangs, to be clear.
Bang, bang.
Charry, Charry, bang, bang.
Oh, you pretty cherry bang bang, cherry cherry bang bang, I love you, and my cherry cherry bang bang, cherry cherry bang bang loves me too. High, low, anywhere we go, on cherry cherry we depend. Bang bang, cherry cherry bang bang, my fine flavored good friend. Bang bang, cherry cherry bang bang, a very delicious blend. But it's not a blend. It's a single cask.
It's really good. Movies, The Gathering. I am glad it inspired you to have a whiskey because I fucking love whiskey, and I'm betting you fucking love whiskey.
I fucking love whiskey.
But which one are you having?
Yeah, what are you having? What are you drinking?
What are you doing? What are people drinking? I want to know what people are drinking.
Yeah, if you're having something else, tell us about it.
And yeah, describe it quickly.
That's timer.
Oh, wow.
You have 10 seconds to lift off. 10, 9, 8, 7. I almost forgot how to count down. Like
That's terrible.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Gotta whisper the one. You gotta. Or like, gravitas and whatnot.
This is the kind of presence and gravitas that Rebecca is going to bring to her show. It's coming on at 8:15 at twitch.tv/impro_TV.
Yeah.
Join her and see what.
Sorry, I tried.
See what whiskey does to improvisers.
Who knows? Fun stuff, I suppose.
Macallan Quest, nice.
Ooh.
Wait,
Miller High Life in the bottle. That's not what.
Yeah, but it's Matt. Like, are you surprised?
Oh, Evan Williams Green.
He loves all the beer.
McCready, have some respect for yourself. That's all I'm saying.
No kidding. You
loves
run
all the
you
beer.
yourself and you're drinking Miller Light. I'm just saying. Whiskey.
At least drinks like regular Miller. Come on. The second best cheap beer. That's probably true.
Wait, what's the first best cheap beer?
I would go
I'm
with
interested.
Modelo. I love
I'm interested to hear what the chat has to say.
PBR.
Apps, huh?
The new PBR is pretty good.
I drank PBR all in college, and I'd have to say that unless it is cold, it tastes like piss.
Wait, Rebecca, you scienced this, right?
Did you?
I did.
What are your thoughts? I have not scienced this. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
I would say don't, because you love it so much. It's not my favorite to science it. It doesn't make it like, it's not like it's bad. Just
not as good, maybe. Andrew's sciencing. I'm not gonna science it because this. I do really, really like this.
I don't like the way it changes the bang.
The last time I felt this way about a whiskey, I think was the what was it, the tart one, something, a date with a tart.
Date with a tart.
That's a lot, and I still have that, like from the show. It's sitting in a little bottle over there, and I haven't had it. Like this is so good. Oh man, Tipsy Asparagus is telling me to science it.
Well, you might have been chanting to me. Who knows?
I mean, asparagus might be tipsy already.
Right? I think it's a kind of guarantee.
Kind of
Look
what
at the
you
way
get on the
starts.
tin. All right, I have a little left. I'm going to science it. I'm going to do it. I have some left, so I'm going to give it a try.
Not egg bread, but like some sort of bread with the water. It calms down that heat.
I feel like it's better without it, but it's still good with it.
Oh yeah, no, the nose is so interesting. It does smell like bread. Yeah, definitely a little more complicated though before.
Oh, Movies The Gathering doing Macallan 12, a good choice. Very nice. Brooke Lassie doing SMWS 68.37. Listen to this name, Rummage in the Dunnage. I love that.
Do you have some of that?
I do not have that. Bread water is fire.
I mean, beer is great.
Beer's okay, but I fucking...
I fucking love whiskey and I fucking love beer. Like craft beer, I love craft beer.
I do also like beer. It's funny, I used to like, I think before I started drinking whiskey, I used to like wine a lot more. I still like wine, but it's not, you know, I like it with a meal.
Yeah.
Good with some pasta.
Good with the meal. Well, I feel like it's one of those things that accompanies food very well, but I feel like whiskey is something that like you should be drinking it on its own primarily. Like I'm sure there are things that go well with it, but like you don't want to mix the flavors too much. Like, whiskey is just...
Absolutely 100% agree. Also, I totally agree with you, Rebecca, what you're saying about the tasting notes. Like water, it's nice, but I think it was better before.
Yeah, it loses some magic. Like the bang is gone for me. There's some like sour stone fruit in the finish.
Have we read their tasting notes?
Oh, we have not. Whiskey is an event. Yes, and an event is best shared with friends.
Red water is fire. That is a great phrase.
I love that. All right, here we go. Charry.
Whiskey is an event. Whiskey is an event, and I feel like you can't take it on a group date. Sometimes you need a solo date.
Yeah, okay.
Not like, I don't mean like solo, like no people. I mean, you can't always add food to the party.
Have it on its
You're
own.
Talking about just you and whiskey. You just want to be intimate with whiskey, and you don't want anyone else around.
No, I when I'm intimate with whiskey, I want other people around. I want to talk to them about what they're experiencing. This is why we're doing the show. It's the most fun thing for me.
Okay, the analogy is breaking down here because we mean other flavors, obviously not other people.
Yes. Anyways, Charry Bang Bang, 68.30. Here's the SMWS tasting notes. Highland Southern.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
Yeah, do the voice.
An almost fatty aroma of creme brulee, toasted coconuts, blackcurrant jam, matcha, greenwood, lambic ale, clover, pancake batter, crumpets oozing butter, gooseberry, and chamomile tea fortified with a shot of strawberry liqueur. Add water, and there's notes of oven gloves, matchboxes, tea tree oil, toolboxes, plum skins, black grape, sea, buckthorn, and mango jelly. A wee hint of black olive paste and umami as well. The palate opens with a nettle cordial and the sharp tinge of lime juice. Then loganberry sauce, chocolate cake, black pepper, cured meats, orange, and lemon travel sweets that your grandmother would give you.
Right. Those kind of travel sweets.
Cocktail bitters and aged Cabernet Sauvignon. With water, there's hardwood resin, coal dust, lychee syrup, chopped dates, cherry kirsch, and poached peaches and pears. I kind of love their tasting notes.
Yeah, they do a good job with that for sure. Really, everything they do a good job with, except for some of their labeling.
I imagine that their tasting panel is very much like what we're doing here, where people are tasting things and saying, "Oh, this," and someone's like typing it down.
I like your typing noise. Someone's like, because that's typing.
Yeah. They're different. Just saying.
I wish this show could go on forever. You're such delightful people.
Right?
You guys are so delightful too, you fabulous fellas. I don't know if it's the Ron Swanson coming out of me, but I'm like, man, talking about going on a date with whiskey, I just really want like steak and fucking potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Finish all like the finish whiskey, get really, buzzed and tipsy off of whiskey and eat a fabulous steak and potatoes.
I do feel like that would be a good finisher, like thing after having whiskey is like steak and potatoes.
Like I feel like you have to enjoy the whiskey first so that you can fully enjoy the whiskey.
Are you saying we're being bad hosts on our podcast here?
Yeah, why didn't you send me steak and potatoes? Andrew Pierce, come on.
We haven't checked in with Thad in a while. I want to know what Thad has to say about this last whiskey.
Oh, I finished this a while ago, but what I remember is that it was delightful. It was the best one out of the bunch for me. Yeah. Honestly, like I didn't really get gunpowder for me on the taste. For me, it was very, very sweet. It was very, very like cake, like fluffy cake batter that's been like not completely baked all the way. Is the best way to describe it for me, which is strange, but I do love it though. Like. Delightful nose, delightful taste, delightful finish. Best whiskey of today, all around.
Nice.
And we have 4 really good whiskeys too, so that's high praise.
I just love hearing everybody's whiskey tasting notes, no matter what they are. Like it's like for me, it was more like a crab shot out of a cannon. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't.
I love those.
Everybody, it makes people evocative. That's what I think. Is like whiskey makes people like suddenly have like, oh no, I need to like tie into some language to get my head around this. That's what's cool about it.
It makes me feel like I'm on a pirate ship and I'm trying to get to the other side of the coast.
Other side of the coast, like through the land?
Yes.
Wow, that's a determined pirate.
I have a magical ship.
There is Michael Moorcock had a thing that a ship that sails on land and sea. Anyway, that's. But I think I know where Andrew's going with this, and I want to hear what he has to say.
I'm just wondering now because we've had 4, or if you were here for the preamble, 5, pretty nice whiskeys today, and I'm just wondering after all of that, do you like whiskey?
Wait, are you asking me or everyone
I'm asking
else?
you, Rebecca. Yes.
Oh, I fucking love whiskey.
I mean, I had a suspicion, but I'm glad to have it confirmed.
Well, I'd just like to tell you that I fucking love whiskey.
I appreciate that.
So say we all. So say we all.
So say we all. Hey, tune in to Rebecca later tonight, 8:15 over at Impro TV. Outpost 13, thank you for hosting us. Tomorrow, there's this Trek table show talking about Trek and inclusiveness at 2 o'clock, I want to say. Check it out. Anyways, I don't know what time it is. Someone will post it in the chat. McCready will probably know if it's not 2 o'clock. Subscribe to this channel. If you have an Amazon.Prime account and you want to subscribe to a channel, you can do it for free. You can do one channel for free. And I would say Outpost 13 is the one to do. There's amazing shows happening here. Aaron Harvey, thank you for our graphics. Cody Bushy, thank you for our bot. Thaddeus Wassinger, thank you so much for doing our OBS cutting and tech. It seems like it should be nothing, but it's a lot of work, and I really appreciate how effortless you look at doing. Make it look doing. What? Finish my sentence.
Make it look doing with your visual timing and thoughtness. Is the
That do good.
That do good.
4 p.m. for Trek Table tomorrow. Anyways, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us and having whiskey on a performance night. We really appreciate what you do and what you're trying to do in the world right now, trying to help people get, vaccinations. I think that's amazing. That's so good. That's so amazing. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Zombie Skincare. Thank you, Movies The Gathering. These names make me delighted. They just like me. Matt,
such great
Monique, Allison, Lisette, like everyone else we know. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, in April, we're going to start at 4:30. We're going to start an hour earlier, starting in April. I don't think it'll affect you in any way. You can still tune in, and we'll still drink whiskey, and we'll still be our charming selves, and you'll be delighted.
It'll be the same, just in an hour different time zone.
Yeah. And anything else, Joseph, Rebecca?
Yeah. I fucking love whiskey.
Damn it.
I fucking love whiskey.
Rebecca won the count, as she should.
Yeah, well, as the guest always should.
I also just love saying fuck. It's a great swear word.
It really is.
Fucking love whiskey.
Did you watch the Nicolas Cage show? It's worth watching.
Oh, the history of swears?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I have not, but now I should.
And McCready, I want to see I Fucking Love Beer. I would love to see that as a sister show. I think that would be just tremendous.
I'd totally be on that. Except I would really want steak provided, because these guys did not provide steak. And
Oh, man.
I should be providing the steak for the whiskey, really.
You know what? I got an $5 off at Arby's coupon in the mail today. I'll bring that over to you. That's what'll happen.
That's where we are in this world.
Hey, everybody at home, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. This is so much fun. Whiskey's best shared, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Whiskey.